Welcome to Carmichael Sports Media's coverage of North Oconee football on the NFHS Network. Alongside the great Carter Braun, I'm Cal Titlebaum. We're coming at you from Titan Stadium ahead of a Week 2 matchup between the 0-1 Dalton Catamounts and the 1-0 North Oconee Titans. It could be a wet one tonight as remnants from Hurricane Aaron are making their way into the southeast coast, but nonetheless, we will have football. Carter, what can we expect?
Well, it's a pleasure to join you tonight, Kyle. You can expect a team in the North Oconee Titans who are coming off a 15-0 perfect season, winning the Quad 8 state championship last season. And they're facing off against a team in the Dalton Catamounts who have lost 11 games in a row dating back to 2 seasons ago. When these teams met last year, North Oconee dismantled Dalton, winning 42-0.
Yeah, this could be like last year, but we think otherwise. This is a new era of Dalton football with a new coaching staff, a prolific offense that dropped 42 points in Week 1. Our Cooper Burke is on the sideline with more on this new era of Dalton football.
Dalton football is entering their 101st year of football this season, and leading the charge is head coach Chris Pruitt. Pruitt will be the first to tell you that they're not where they want to be this year, but the focus is on the sidelines. That's been a thing for us, is being positive on the sidelines, he said. The Catamounts have a lot to be positive about on the offensive side of the ball. First-year offensive coordinator Pat Carlisle installed the spread run-pass option offense. The Catamounts debuted their new-look offense last week, throwing for 6 touchdowns through the air and nearly equaling last year's season total. For the Catamounts, key is to stay positive on the sidelines and remain confident in their new-look schemes on both sides of the ball.
Thanks, Cooper. And yes, this Dalton scheme did look very different than years past, as we previously mentioned, with those 42 points. But let's talk about tonight. What does Dalton need to do to remain competitive?
So Dalton has to do 2 main things that I've highlighted. First and foremost, it's going to be a rainy night. I'm expecting it to be wet. The football is going to want to slip away. The Catamounts need to retain possession of the football. They can't turn the ball over. They need to have sustained offensive drives. And they really just need to keep their defense rested and off the field for as long as possible. In doing so, this leads to the second main point of emphasis, which I believe is to get their offensive playmakers the ball.
Yeah, and speaking of those offensive playmakers, we're looking at sophomore Haven Sorrells. He just earned an offer from Georgia Tech after his Week 1 performance, in which he set a program record with 229 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, especially in the second half when he ignited the offense with a 76-yard bomb. But enough about what Dalton needs to do. Let's talk about North Oconee.
Yeah, so North Oconee, it's pretty simple. They need to get out there and set the tone early and prove that they are a better team and kind of take the Catamounts out of it really early on in this one. Secondly, defensively, they're going to need to limit the big plays that this Dalton offense is very capable of, and they just need to sit back, keep the game in front of them, and one player that's going to help them do that is Khamari Brooks for the Titans. Look for him, the edge rusher, 4-star. He's committed to Georgia. Look for him to really get in that backfield and prevent these big plays from happening before the ball can even be thrown.
Our very own sideline reporter, Olivia Sayer, spoke to Brooks earlier this week about his preparation for the season.
Thanks, Kyle. For Khamari Brooks, this summer was all about football. In fact, his cousin Benjamin told me earlier in the week that part of the reason he announced his commitment to the University of Georgia was so that way he could spend this entire summer finding ways to help this North Oconee team. He skipped out on his annual vacation, which included a 4th of July getaway, dropped basketball, and instead worked with his trainer at nearby Athens Academy to help improve his craft. And that included 2 things that they worked on. The first was his pass rushing capabilities, so he worked on his hand movement and his stance. And the second was his versatility as a potential inside linebacker. We all know Khamari is an incredible edge rusher and outside linebacker, but he wanted to develop some skills to play on the inside so that way he could help his future teams in a variety of different roles. And when I spoke with Khamari earlier in the week and asked him why he spent so much time dedicated to football, he kept his answer plain and simple. He wanted to help this team win another state title. And guys, that seems to be a common theme with this dedicated North Oconee squad.
Thanks, Olivia. And we know how good North Oconee can be on the defensive side of the ball. We also know they can ball out offensively. What are we looking at tonight?
Yeah, so this North Oconee offense is all led by one man, and that man's name is Harrison Faulkner. The 3-star Georgia Southern commit was the Quad A Offensive Player of the Year last year, and he can really do it on each aspect of the game. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, and I'm really looking for him to get this North Oconee offense lifted off their feet tonight and really get them going on what will be his senior night and a bunch of other this experienced offense's senior night as well. It's going to be a raucous crowd, a crazy environment, and I'm excited for this game tonight.
Yeah, we'll be back momentarily with the coin toss and the kick. Stay tuned to Carmichael Sports Media's coverage of Oconee football on the NFHS Network.